don't retire in Bluffton without watching this. If you are thinking about retiring in Bluffton, I want you to stop for just a second, because the Bluffton you've been dreaming about, it may not be exactly what you'll find here when you get here. Hi, I'm Missy Yost with the Yost Team, and Darren and I have helped people relocate to Bluffton from all over the country and even from around the world. We know these communities here inside and out, and we are passionate about helping you find your dream home in the right neighborhood for your lifestyle. I'm not here to scare you, but I have helped a lot of people make the move, and while many fall in love instantly, others have been caught off guard by some really big surprises. So today I'm going to give you the real picture. We're going to cover 7 things that tend to blindside retirees, everything from the cost of living now to why everything basically shuts down after 8 p.m. There's also traffic headaches, HOA rules, healthcare delays. Now, Bluffton can be a wonderful place to live. I absolutely love it here, and it's probably a great place for you too, as long as you come in with your eyes wide open. You just need to be prepared for things that are happening now and things that are coming down the road. There's healthcare access challenges that you need to plan for, rapid growth and how it's changing the character of Bluffton, transportation limitations that can impact your independence, and I'm going to share silver linings and upcoming improvements along the way. Now, the cost of living reality check is the first thing we're going to cover, so that's the big one. We're going to get the money out of the way. Before COVID, Bluffton was one of the most affordable coastal retirement spots in the Southeast. You could actually enjoy marsh views, gorgeous live oaks, and all of the low country charm without paying the high coastal prices. But since 2022, the prices have jumped on almost everything: groceries, utilities, services, dinner out, you name it. We've gone from small town pricing to what I call resort pricing. Now, the locals do feel it as much as the visitors do. People who go back and visit home often come back shocked at how inexpensive it felt compared to Bluffton. When they came home, they realized the same type of meal here was almost twice the price, and that was before wine and dessert. Why the jump? Bluffton's popularity exploded and new businesses opened, housing demand went through the roof, but the upside is the growth has brought better healthcare facilities, more dining options, and an improved infrastructure. So yes, you are paying more, but you're also getting a higher quality of life in return. Even if the cost isn't an issue, there's another thing here that might surprise you, and it happens every day. Basically, the whole town shuts down at about 8 p.m. The shops close, restaurants wind down. There's no big theaters, no major concert venues. You might catch some live island-style music, but that's really about it. The exception is Old Town on the weekends, where they have bands that go into the night. But if you want a bigger night out, you're probably going to head to Savannah or Charleston. For many, this is just part of the charm, the peaceful, it's safe, and it encourages an earlier, healthier routine. And when you do go out in the bigger city, it feels like a real treat. So if you're thinking about retiring here and you want to make sure you get the Bluffton lifestyle you've been imagining, I help people navigate these exact decisions every single day. So my contact information is below. Reach out to Darren or I, and we will help you understand if Bluffton can work for you. Now, whether it's dinner in Old Town or a trip to Charleston, you need to get there somehow. And that brings us to one of Bluffton's biggest growing themes, and that is traffic. If you're coming from a big city, you might think our traffic is not bad at all compared to Atlanta or Miami. You are correct, but it is getting worse. So right now, we've got road widening, traffic lights, new construction delays. There's bigger things coming. The South Point development is 14,000 new homes plus hotels, restaurants, and retails. That's going to be built over the next 5 to 7 years, so it's essentially doubling the area's population. With the new residents and tourists who aren't familiar with the road, patience is required. Now, once this phase is over, we are going to have better infrastructure, more amenities nearby, and a road system that's built for the future. And as a local, there are still back roads and alternative routes that we take that tourists don't know exist. So traffic is one part of the daily life here, but so is the way communities are run, and that means you will probably have an HOA. HOA reality is something you're going to have to think about. You won't be able to do what you want with your property when you want to do with your property, because almost every neighborhood here has an HOA. They decide what color you can paint your house, what you can keep in your yard, even if you can park your truck in the driveway. So fees will vary, and if you want to skip them entirely, you're probably going to have to move further out into the country country, and that means you're going to have to go further for errands and things like that. HOAs are not a bad thing. They keep the neighborhoods looking beautiful and protect property values. You don't have to worry about a neighbor turning their yard into a storage lot, but your community shapes your daily life. So does your access to healthcare. And that's what we're going to talk about next, is the healthcare access challenges. If you are a new patient, it can take up to a year to get your first appointment with a local doctor. Some retirees actually book their appointments while their home is being built so that they can get in sooner. Now, if you do have an ongoing health issue, you usually can get in a little bit quicker, but if you're healthy, be prepared to wait. The good news is it's improving. New micro hospitals and clinics are being built right now. MUSC Beaufort Memorial and Novant are all expanding in the area, and that means more choices and better access are coming. And healthcare isn't the only thing growing in Bluffton. Bluffton itself is changing, and not everyone loves how it's happening. There is a rapid growth impact. Now, Bluffton is booming, and I do mean booming. When you drive through town, you'll see neighborhoods going up, shopping centers being built, and businesses moving in left and right. We are seeing everything from small, locally owned boutiques to national brands opening here. The population is also becoming diverse, not just in age, but in where people are coming from. You'll meet folks from the Northeast, the Midwest, the West Coast, and even other countries. And this growth breeds better shopping, more dining options, more cultural events, and stronger economic stability. We have access to things now that we didn't have 5 years ago. But the small town charm that originally attracted so many people is evolving. The roads are busier, Old Town is more crowded on weekends, and that everybody knows your name feeling is a little bit harder to find in some areas. And with all this change, some longtime residents feel a little bit nostalgic for the old days, while others are excited about the new energy and new opportunities. With all of these new people and new places, getting around town has also become a bigger part of daily life. And here in Bluffton, transportation works a little bit differently than you might expect. There are limitations. A lot of people don't think about that until they live here. Bluffton has very, very little public transportation. No subways, no commuter rail, only very limited bus service in certain areas. Most areas aren't walkable for everyday errands, and even in the more central parts of town, you're still likely going to need a car for almost everything. For many retirees, it's not a problem at first. You just hop in the car and go, but it's important to think ahead. If driving ever becomes more difficult down the road and you need to get to medical appointments, grocery stores, or events, it could be a challenge because ride shares like Uber and Lyft are available, but they're not as plentiful as in larger cities, and the cost quickly adds up. Taxis are even less common, and the wait can be long. But most drives are short, and communities are being designed with small shopping areas and restaurant services right inside or right outside the neighborhood. So that means you might not have to go far to get what you need, especially if you choose your community with this in mind. If you're still considering Bluffton for your retirement after hearing about these challenges, then that tells me you are a great fit for this area. The key here is going to be to come in with realistic expectations and proper planning. We help people navigate exactly those issues every day. So if you'd like to discuss how to make Bluffton work for your specific situation, reach out using the contact information right below, and Darren and I are happy to help. And if you want to see the flip side of the story on why so many people still choose Bluffton despite the downsides, don't miss my next video. I'm breaking down Sun City versus Margaritaville to help you understand which Bluffton retirement community fits you best. Click right here and I will see you there.